Fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Izuku Midoriya. Him and the assault team from Island, they have just taken on the Thing. Midoriya having his first actual encounter with the alien specimen. And, surprise surprised, it showed higher intellect than what was previously believed. And, in the end, the building came down. Midoriya, the only survivor who was unaffected by the Thing. And, whenever Midoriya did assimilate a man, he showed him the truth, before creating a replica of himself. Now, with that out of the way, we do have back on Island roughly a few days later, where Midoriya, he is actually explaining to Mr. Shield what happened that night, and how he is just finally happy that the nightmare is all over. His visions seem to have stopped. Now, Mr. Shield is quite horrified really to hear about what happened. But at the same time, Midoriya does seem to be in better health. However, he's still lamenting over what did occur. Now, he was more interested to learn about this second Midoriya. And Midoriya did try to explain it to him the best way that he possibly can. They're both technically the real him, and he does exist within both bodies. However, it's sort of similar to if two minds share one. He doesn't really know. You could call it a form of possession, but even then I don't think that's correct. Fascinating. Well, I would ask if I could perform an experiment, but I believe that you would be uncomfortable with that, especially if this is technically you. Yeah, Mr. Shield. Thanks for at least understanding that. I understand. No need to try to apologize. But now then, I would like to take a blood sample to see if anything has changed within your own biology. If what you described is true, then that might mean that you could have been unknowingly infected. Alright. Now, Midoriya does have a blood sample taken, and the results of it are a little different from the previous one. Midoriya's cells seem to be more hyperactive, and this is quite intriguing. Mr. Shield asking if he can place Midoriya within a quarantine for a short period of time, or possibly long term in case they do need it. Midoriya agreeing to these terms, and spending about, let's say, 3 weeks or a month's time in a room, where no results have been observed to change. Overall, Midoriya's behavior remains the same, and he makes no attempts to escape. Now, with that being said, within this time, Mr. Shield, he's also learning more and more about Midoriya. Along with Midoriya at least showing off knowledge which he did not show prior. Things that Midoriya has learned from the beast and its assimilation of alien species. Now, Midoriya is given a notebook and a pen and paper. Well, multiple notebooks and multiple pens and pencils. Midoriya showing an intimate design and knowledge of these subjects, able to paint and sketch landscapes which do not appear on any earthly, well, continent. And Mr. Shields impressed. With this, they're able to gain a better understanding of biology and open up new fields of study. Within this month's time, the human understanding of everything increases. And Mr. Shield actually has published works about this. Even some of his colleagues, which he does have, begin to take a profound interest in Mr. Shield. Him talking about how these are earth-shattering breakthroughs that he has discovered. And he does ask Midoriya if it would be possible to help bring in more scientists. Midoriya agreeing but understandably concerned about this. Now, Melissa would calm Midoriya down, her actually walking into his containment room. And Mr. Shield is obviously agitated by this. Now, she would begin to converse with Midoriya and give him human interaction, something that would be nice for Midoriya to have. Now, Melissa, she does speculate that Midoriya he's shown no abnormal changes in biology, and that it does seem that his cells may have returned back to normal. However, their hyperactive state has remained. Now, she also does ask Midoriya if he's experienced any of his visions, to which he would say no. Talking about how, with that beast gone, he believes that he can finally return somewhat back to normal. Melissa's smiling, and saying that it does seem that that would appear to be true. And that she does hope Midoriya will have a better life, especially after they do cure him. Now, Midoriya, hearing that word again, cure me, it feels odd. Now, Midoriya just does bring his hand up and over where his heart used to be. Melissa watching both Midoriyas do this. Is something wrong, Izuku? Oh, both saying in unison. Both going on to say that they've both been experimented on a lot. Well, I have. And, well, Midoriya at least glossing over certain things. Talking about how at least his organs were removed. And they were going to kill him. However, he's just wondering now. How much strain has he put on his body doing this? He's been going this way for about the last year, right? Even then, it hasn't felt different. But he's just wondering. His body is suddenly being able to do so much crazy things. Returning to the basic attributes of a normal person. What happens then? Well, there's multiple things that could happen. Either whenever we cure you, your body retains most of your abilities. However, that's not the desired results, is it? Huh? No, Mr. Shield isn't. Right. Mr. Shield going over it in his head, writing down about 4 or 5 different possibilities. 1. Midoriya is completely cured, perfectly human. No extra abilities, he's fine. 2. Midoriya is cured, he's perfectly normal human, retains the abilities. So, somewhat not dissimilar to his current state. Just unable to affect people with his ability if he could do so. Number 3. Midoriya is incurable and goes crazy. Number 4. The cure does not work and it makes Midoriya worse. And number 5. Number 5 being the worst possible outcome. The cure is effective, yes, but due to the effects of Midoriya's body and from what he's described, everything that he's done to his own self catches up with him in an instant, or even over a slow period of time. A large flame burning away at a small campfire. Even Midoriya's quote-unquote organs. Are they even really real organs? Will they all just malfunction at the first sign of him being human again? He doesn't know. However, he does want to help the boy, telling Midoriya that it is time for him to come out of quarantine. Now, Midoriya does listen. Both Midoriyas walking out with Melissa. As we do have over the course of the next few weeks. Actually, let's say months. About 7. Izuku, he has been learning to tap into the intellect within his own mind. And David Shield is impressed. At random points, this boy seems to just manifest knowledge out of nowhere. Unaware that Midori is pulling it from all the people that he has absorbed. Midoriya is essentially an almost never-ending stream of knowledge. However, even with his boosted intelligence, undoing over 200 years worth of human evolution and creativity with this serum they've created, it's weird. Midoriya is slowly chipping away at progress. However, it's not as fast as he would like to. At the rate they're currently going, Midoriya can predict it would be 20 years, at the very least, before he is human again. And that time is simply not enough. And then there is a thought as he is in the lab one day working, going through numerous blood tests, and actually trying to find the differences and divide in human and mimicry cells. Now, Midoriya, he is going over a isolated compound that he does have, as Mr. Shield and Melissa are doing their own things. As Mr. Shield is running certain programs and tests with multiple different serums that he does currently have in, well, the process of being made. Now, at each step, Mr. Shield is testing the serum to see what it could do. Some of the serums have reacted negatively to Midoriya's blood. And, well, the tests are horrifying to say the least. They put some of Midoriya's blood on a small little, bowl. Then, whenever Midoriya walked in, he was able to watch the experiments. Mr. Shield, with the help of a device or a robot, was able to inject the serum directly onto the exposed blood. And that was whenever something bad had happened. Midoriya's blood did begin to show somewhat of a reaction, since they were observing it also through a microscope at the top of the room. They watched as Midoriya, his bloodstream, or his blood, did then react negatively. It essentially evaporating and turning into steam or smoke. Midoriya watching more and more of these tests on the serums, as they've all been negative. One caught fire, one exploded, one melted through the bowl, so that was fun, and many other things have happened. In fact, there was even an experiment where it seemed to accelerate the strange mutation. Midoriya watching as soon as the drop of this serum was put in, the little mound of blood suddenly just burst open, or expanded rapidly, and that greatly disturbed Midoriya, as we do currently have on the roof of the facility. Midoriya, he feels distant after everything that's happened. Where is he now? He's what, 16 years old? 16 and a half? And he's still here. He's been this way for almost 2 years. And it's strange. He wants to understand what's going on with him. And if he doesn't, what does that mean will happen? Now, with that being said, we do have somebody who does pop up, as a portal is open up behind Midoriya as he does actually go to look over his shoulder. Now, a man would then walk out and introduce himself. Why, hello. And who might you be? Well, young man, I am a doctor. I can see that. And I'm guessing that you're with All for One? Yes, that is true. Okay, so why did he send you here then? Well, that is quite simple. You need our help, do you not? No, I think we have everything covered. Even though it's going to take us so long. Well, young man, I do believe that we have a simple way to help you. Help me? What do you mean? Well, come on, young man. It's simple. This entire thing that I've heard about your case, and all the time I've been alive, I've never heard of anything like it. The idea of aliens existing? Then again, I have been alive for over a century. So, it does not sound too far-fetched. Really? Yes. Even then, with my research and many of the things I've studied, I've made quite a bit of a name for myself. Now, I do have a favor to ask you, however, and this favor might actually be in your own personalized interest. Um, yeah, okay, sure. What might this favor be, however, before I do continue? Well, young man, I would like to take a blood sample from you, along with possible tissue samples, as to better understand your current condition. The doctor then going on to state that he would also like to perform, or at least have notes that David Shield has written down. Copies of them if he will. He will then try and figure out a nice way to help him, possibly even duplicate his own body, and transfer consciousness within it. What? That's possible? Now hold on there, young man. I said, help. There's no surefire way of it. First, we need to untangle all that human DNA with whatever is inside your blood. Even then, after that, there's the operations. Operations? Yes. Now, I do want to say it would be easy. Then again, even this is a challenge. I'm not really making a Nomu either. This is more or less a homegrown human. Just like the experiment I wanted to perform. Yes, I believe that it would be possible. Wow. That's amazing. So I can be cured. I really can have it happen. Hmm. Yes. However, in return, I need you to talk with a particular young man. Hmm? Yes. This young man, he is actually a bit more perceptive and may pose a threat to all for one in the future. Uh, sure. What do you need me to talk to him about? Hmm. All right. The specifics of it are strange, but I believe I can at least set you up with a meeting. You must head to the location and talk with him. Discover what he has. And if the information is good and reliable from what my sources do tell me, then I will then continue and proceed to help you. Yes, sir. That sounds amazing. The doctor then backing up into the portal. As, all for one, he is having a little bit of fun with this. So, once they get the blood samples and DNA samples from Midoriya, they can understand a bit more about that ability. Or, the longevity of this thing. From keeping an eye on him and his actions, they've at least encountered and harvested DNA they could. And it is small and insignificant at the moment, but they're starting their own research on the alien. So, what was going to happen if All for One incorporates some of that DNA into his own body? Perhaps he can fix his brain, increase his longevity, perhaps even rule the worlds, if you will. It sounds like a crazy and insane experiment. Transferring what's in Midoriya's blood to All for One. It sounds possible, at least in theory. So, let's just hope that it will all work out. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I will catch you guys in the next part.